Okay, today I'm going to be working on my Murray and mostly the recovery mower, which I have right here. It's I'm going to be doing, I bought some parts for it, which I'll show you in a minute, but recently I've been working on my 20 horse because it's had compression problems because of right here there is the exhaust valve. It was moving a little bit, so I was losing compression, but kind of dealt with that. Cleaned up all the carbon and everything, and I noticed this cylinder does have a few scrape marks in it, but overall, I mean, they're not rough or anything. Seems decent. Here's the head of that engine, all cleaned up and good, but here's parts I bought for the recovery mower. Here I got these pulleys. I know they're not big, but I'll be doing a different clutch anyways, so it doesn't really matter. I won't get any slippage, but got this 1-inch bore thing. The pulleys don't come together, so I have to weld this in there, and got these bolts. You wouldn't really think it, but all those right there, that was about $40. It's a little bit expensive, but it's what I have to do. Okay, so right here, recovery mower, I found the seat for it. I have those pulleys that go on the 820 and the clips. Got these tires now, so I guess I'm just gonna start doing what I can with the parts I got right now. What I'm probably gonna first be doing is double cutting these front tires, which I'll show how to do that in a minute. Also, a quick tip on if you're ever working on an engine or anything, careful you don't damage your engine or anything doing this method. If you don't have any like easy outs from removing broken bolts, right here, I have a, not sure if you can see that or not. It looks somewhat like the bolts that were actually in this, but it broke off inside the block. So what you want to do is you hold like a little nut with a pair of pliers against the bolt, and you put your like welder on its hottest setting. That is what I did, in low wire speed, and I welded a nut over the broken bolt, and it screwed right on out. Okay, now onto the build of the. Okay, now I got the Murray's shroud all back on, the head's all tightened, and it's ready to go. I mean, it's still really has poor compression, but that's because the exhaust valves are messed up, and I didn't really do anything to them yet except for clean the carbon off. But I'll probably get to that another time because it still has plenty of power, even though it has crappy compression. Plenty of power for me, at least to deal with for now. I got too many other projects to deal with. So after a while of trying to figure this out, this brand new pulley I just bought, I'm not sure what the issue is. I know this is a 5/8 shaft. I mean input shaft. This has a 5/8 bore, but see, this will not fit on here. I've tried wire brushing it and tapping it with a hammer, and this thing's slightly smaller, so I gotta return this for, somehow this is not a true 5/8, so gotta deal with that. But I guess right now I'm gonna show what I do on these tires. This will work on, if you, on rear tires, fronts, pretty much most things. If you don't feel like putting out the extra money towards four-wheeler tires, this is a cheaper way to get a little bit more grip out of your turf savers. One is a chisel or a knife. I prefer this chisel. It's a flat blade. Gotta watch yourself so you don't end up shoving this into your finger or something, or burning yourself. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna heat this thing up on a propane torch or something that you have to heat these things with. It might take a minute for the first time of heating it, but after the first time you heat the chisel up, or whatever you're using to cut, it'll heat up much quicker after. So once you've got it all heated up, what you're going to want to do is, on your tire, there's what I personally do is cut out every other tread line. Some people remove every other like little notch, but I just like this. So, do is you take this chisel, and you start at the very edge of the tire. Make sure you don't punch it through your tire, you're going to ruin your tire. And you start at the edge of the tread going up, and you just shove it way through. On this chisel, you can go about for one line of tread when it gets burning hot of removing it before you got to reheat it. So, this does take a little bit of time, but there's one tread line gone. Then the next step, just heating up the chisel again. I'm going to remove this next one. This, you can do this rear tires on your mower. It will make quite a bit of difference in mud, but someday I plan on upgrading these to four-wheeler tires, because this thing is getting built a lot more than I planned, but I'm liking it and I'm going to keep on working on it. Some things are slowing me down, like these pulleys not being the size they claim to be. Hoping the store takes it back, because I don't have a receipt, but they know me, so they probably will. But see right here, I have this one tread line left. I'm just going to continue that pattern going until I have the full tire done, then I switch sides. Okay, I'm just finishing up this tire. It's been probably about 15 minutes or so. It's taken a little bit, but the tire already looks a whole lot better, and I have the same method of tire cutting on the front of my sears, and I could notice quite a bit of difference on how I was able to steer, because that posi really messes with the steering of these things. But as you can see, just after a little while of heating that chisel with a torch, tire is every other tread line is completely undone, which don't look bad, and got quite a pile of tire chunks. Not really any use for them, but now I'm trying to figure out what the next thing to do. I was really planning on putting that transmission in here tonight, but that pulley is causing me issues. Might try and deal with that tomorrow in shop by using like a Dremel or something and slightly like grinding it out slightly so it'll be able to fit. But I'm also planning on putting this rear four-wheeler rack, build a four-wheeler rack on this in the next video, build the bumper, and install a gas pedal and straight pipes on here. I'm thinking either do the same as this one, which I think will end up sounding better, where I just have both pipes going to one and come together and out one pipe, or I might do dual straight pipes out, like a straight one pipe out each side. Not sure yet, but this one's probably going to sound a lot better because this has a lot more compression and electric start, which will be a lot nicer than, for a change, than using this thing's pull start all the time. But also probably expecting I might have to flare my fenders on. These 25-inch mud lights are getting quite big on here, so I might probably just do that right now, is flare them, because I know they're going to rub just slightly, and also help keep some of the mud off of me. Sometimes it's good to get covered in mud, but right now during the winter, when you're like happy when it's like 40 degrees, getting completely soaked isn't really that so great. So I guess for flaring these, I'm just going to take a pair of pliers and bend the whole entire edge out just slightly. If you do it evenly, it won't end up looking bad, but by the end, see, just in that short amount of time, I've got flared out a little bit. It might look odd right now, but on the Murray, I have the same thing done slightly, because it was cutting notches in my tires, and can't really even tell when it's packed with mud. Well, I was hoping this video would be better, but things are not going as planned, so thanks for watching, and comment and just tell me what else you'd like to see on this, like ideas on like the towing thing. Either thinking of like a forklift idea or maybe just like some type of